Okay. So usually, I like to ignore rumors in particular because it's not real evidence. It doesn't mean it's happened. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. But out of nowhere, I said the XFL's not gonna die. The end zone said that XFL's not gonna die. Uh, I'm a huge fan of the XFL. I love the XFL, and well, I mean, at this point, yesterday, whenever I came home from work, everyone was talking about this specific news story, and so you know what? I decided, I guess, why not? It's a rumor. Everyone's talking about it, but there is some factual basis to go behind it. So guess what? It's time for some XFL news talk.
Fielded, and here goes Keith Mumphrey, and they're going to turn it around with room on the near side, and for the first time they get creative, and the Battlehawks have the sideline, and a kickoff return for Joe Powell to the end zone. Cardell Jones, back to Rodgers, back to Jones, a man wide open down the sideline. It's Corey Lee, touchdown. Did it last week against Dallas.
Okay, so as we all know, the XFL filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I went in and did a little bit of research. It does not necessarily mean the league. When a business files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, supposedly this is the most complicated form of bankruptcy. They're still able to operate. It doesn't mean they're closing down or anything like that. What Chapter 11 bankruptcy does is allows the business to reorganize, but after they finish reorganizing, they got to pay off their debts. So that's what it's about. It's about basically not. It's putting a halt on these debts to where they don't have to pay it right away, and they're allowed to reorganize their debts and everything else. If they reopen later down the line and get out of the bankruptcy, they have to pay off all the debts. That's basically how it works. In some cases, businesses are still operating and working under Chapter 11 bankruptcy. General Motors was an example that I saw, and United Airlines was another example that I saw. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but they didn't close down shop. They were still operating under this business. It's just a reorganizing thing. At the same time, from what I read, it's the most expensive type of bankruptcy, so you really got to consider when it comes to Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But what it sounds like, it's when a business files with Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it's they have plans to come back from. So from the beginning, there were already plans that the XFL was not going to go under, and that was. But at the same time, not everyone caught this because not everyone knows what bankruptcy, how this bankruptcy system works. It is not just that, but plenty of businesses file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and it never reopened. The rare cases are cases like General Motors and United Airlines. I think there was a total of 8 total businesses, whenever I looked it up, that filed for Chapter 11 and never closed down. That's 8 total in the entire history of America. So, yeah, when it comes to coming back, that might be a little bit of a bigger number, but at the same time, not that big of a number. So we don't hear a lot of these success stories. So we just hear business files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They may have plans to come back, but they never do. So we just think, oh, they're done, which is kind of reasonable when you sit down and think about it. But the second clue that the XFL did not have plans to officially really close down. Oh, and also another reason why we thought it was done is because they ceased operations, they let off a lot of workers, yada yada. Yeah, it looks like they're closing down for good. But then the bidding comes, and the XFL is prepared, sending out letters to people. I haven't showed y'all these. I'll send a link to a video explaining what these letters are and the description, and it's what it is. It's trying to sell the XFL, saying why you should invest into this league. They're doing a way to what it looks like is what they're looking is for an investor to invest into the XFL, but the owners of the XFL still have a large control over it. Vince McMahon would still have large control over it. What was it? Alphabet Entertainment still has a lot of control over it. The WWE still has their share in it. They still have control over the XFL. They're just looking for someone to invest to keep it open. So there's that. And then we hear the news again. Hardcore evidence. The XFL renewed its leases for certain stadiums. Okay. So there we go. Clearly they have plans to come back. They're renewing their leases. Don't know what the original leases are. We don't know what the renewing is, what years they're renewing, but they're renewing the leases. Clearly that's another hint that they planned on coming back and not staying on forever. And then now we're hearing this is where it comes into the rumor territories. Okay, I don't know if it's completely true, because if it is true, why would the XFL be trying to sell this stuff to other investors? But apparently it could be true. Vince McMahon is possibly trying to buy back his XFL. File for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, save a little bit of money that he can by ceasing operations, not having to pay debts during this time, not having to pay people during this time, and then reopening and then creating those jobs again, and then doing everything else after buying this company back. It's gonna cost him money in the short term, but in the long term, it could be, if he still has all of his share, it could be end up pretty successful. I don't know if that's the true. If it is true, I am not entirely angry with him. It's not his fault that everything happened. It's not his fault about the whole everything. The MLB ceased operations, the NFL ceased operations, NBA ceased operations, and the NFL and NHL, all these other organizations, the reason why they're still operating despite losing tons and tons of money is because they've been around for years. Even the MLR, Major League Rugby, and MLS, Major League Soccer, even those organizations have been around longer than the XFL to gain up enough revenue to be able to eat up maybe a half a year or a whole year. And for the MLB's case, or the NFL's case, or the NBA's case, where they reopen and they're doing games, it's really they're losing money for a year and a half because they're paying for all of that. Yeah, at the same time, they're not getting the tickets revenue because they're not going to be any fans. Okay? But the XFL, I hear people, again, excited about the XFL coming back. I was watching these videos and they're talking about coming back next spring. That's not going to happen. It's not going to come back next spring. Okay? The XFL has no plans in coming back next year. It's not that they just don't have plans of coming back. They have they're going to wait that next year. Keep in mind, they just lost all of their football players, basically. All of their employees, their coaches, staff. We don't know who's going to come back with the coaching staff. We don't know who's going to come back with the players. Actually, we do have some sort of idea. PJ Walker ain't coming back. There's a lot of players that aren't going to come back. They had to re-get the players up again, redo the draft again. They got to re-get the coaches, redo everything. And at the same time, they have no plans on next year because the NFL and could leak into their airtime. It could leak into spring, and they don't want that. They don't want it to wait. They don't want to compete with the NFL. That's what it is. They don't want to compete with the NFL, and so they're not going to come back next spring. They're not going to come back in 2021. Earliest would be 2022. They could reorganize, get everything back up, pay off their debt, pay off some of the debts. They'll probably get their players back, everything else. I don't know if Vince McMahon's going to buy the XFL. I really don't know. But they are not coming back in 2021. They're going to come back in 2022. Vince McMahon is bound and determined to keep a majority stake in the XFL. Whether he buys it back or someone else invests, he's still determined to have a huge part in the XFL. And he's determined to see this league succeed. The XFL will be coming back. The XFL is not entirely gone. It's still here. It's still around. It's still sort of running. You still go to the XFL shop and buy things from them. At some point, I might buy one of their 20 Roughnecks 20 jerseys, so I can have like a shirt to go with my hat. So I'm not just wearing a random shirt here. But yeah, they're still selling. The XFL shop's still up and running. They still have some things running. It's not completely shut down. The XFL shop's still up. Then the website's still up. Obviously, the website's still up. The shop's still up. Don't know when I'll be buying the jersey because the jersey itself is, well, I think it was $200 or something last I checked. Yeah. I'm not exactly the richest dude in the world, so it's like I'm saving money up to get that jersey because I do want the 2020 because I've been a fan of the XFL since 2020. So I'm doing one thing I know for sure is when it does come back, I am 100% buying the ticket this time. I'm not going to wait until week 7 or week 5. I'm going to go up there, make plans, buy a ticket. Because I know it's going to stay, just unless there's like some other COVID part 2 or something. But it's unfortunate what happened to the XFL. It is coming back. It's not officially dead. It was still it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The very complicated form of bankruptcy. You had to go and do a little bit of research, but doesn't mean it's really dead. There's businesses that file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and they still run. It allows business to reorganize. And so with it reorganized, it could come back really, really strong. The XFL could be really strong. And I think this is it coming back would be a good thing for the XFL. I think it would be much better off than another league just starting off. Think about it. I know some people are going, but I know one person's going to go, but who would support it? It's failed twice. Why would they support it again? Here's the difference. The other spring leagues are just starting. We don't know what they're going to look like. We don't know how they're going to do. Oh, and why do you want that? Your team's not going to be the same anymore? Yeah, my 5-0 team's not going to be the same, or we don't have PJ Walker. I don't care. This was a really fun league. I'm going to support this league again, even if my team is shite. I love the XFL. I like the team logo. I like the team name. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch when I wasn't even watching my team play. I was watching other teams play. It was fun to watch. It was a fun league. So yeah, I want it. My team can be crap. I'll support my team, and I'll watch other teams if that's the case. Right? If another team's doing really well, I'll watch them. They're fun to watch. They really were. But I doubt we'll go from 5-0 to an 0-5 team or 0-10 team. We'll get some wins. We'll have some pretty good games. Especially if we get June Jones back. June Jones is a pretty good coach. So got this signed hat. But yeah, it coming back. It's a recognized name. It's coming. If it's coming back, you already got hardcore a core that's a hardcore fan base. Me, Brandon Perna, a lot of people that I've seen underneath. There's the end zone, and a lot of his viewers of the end zone, a lot of Brandon Perna's viewers, and so a few of my subscribers. That they're already XFL fans. So they're coming back. You already got some fan base. You coming back, you show people who may not be the hardcore fan that this league was here to stay. This league went through the government shutdown and came out the other side. Not very many companies can say that. There's a lot of small businesses that are just starting this year, unfortunately, that are not going to come back. There's a lot, not just small businesses, there's going to be some big businesses that may go out of business because of this. This shutdown hurts everyone. This government shutdown, this shutdown of the country, this shutdown of the world economy, a lot of people are going to suffer. So to see a league that just started out, that was forced to shut down because the world was shutting down, come out and start again, that's going to show to some people that this league is serious and really has plans to stay. So if this league is serious and has plans to stay, it's gonna the fan base, that small, maybe small, it's gonna come back, be big. And it wasn't even like it was getting a few views. It was getting lots and lots of views. Its ratings were extremely high. I think at points it was like rivaling the MLB. It was definitely over the MLS. I saw it's over the NHL. I don't know how close, but there were moments where it was viewed practically pretty close to the NBA levels. It was pretty big. People were watching this sport. It was selling a lot of tickets. This league, people liked it. So again, a lot of people like this. It's coming back. More people are going to see this league is here to stay. More people. There's not very many people are going to see a league come back from this and go, oh man, why would I watch it? And it's just going to fail. Yeah, last time it failed only because the whole country shut down. It was doing really, really well. It was making money. It was profitable. It had like couple problems. It's not NFL level football. It was never supposed to be NFL level football. Okay, people love college football. It's not NFL level football. I don't understand a lot of these some of the criticisms on the XFL. Some of it I really don't understand. I really don't. Some of it I do. Some of it I don't. But yeah. Tampa Bay is probably going to be moved. New York is probably going to be moved. Those are the only two teams that really aren't going to go anywhere. And, well, we have two cities already that they could be in. San Antonio and Orlando. 3 Texas teams. I cannot wait for that for this channel. Especially for this channel. But guess what? San Antonio Commander fans, AAF San Antonio Commanders, y'all are getting a football team this time, and go and support them, because if you support them, they ain't going away. San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. I guess at some point we can also have an Austin team, but that's really pushing it. But 3 teams in Texas is possible. We did it. We have it in the NBA, and the XFL is going to show that it's possible for football as well. And I can't wait. San Antonio could very possibly get a team, Alamo themed. I can't wait. This is going to be amazing. And the XFL, it's time for the XFL to show the world that this time it is here to stay. It was never really truly gone. It was in the background, waiting for its opportunity to return, and that moment has come. And with us going to the other end of this whole government lockdown and everything, I think it will do really, really well. People, here's the thing, not everyone's going to have money right away. That's pretty true. But guess what people will need? Some sort of entertainment. People need escapism. That's one thing that sports does really good. XFL's gonna do that. XFL is here to stay. Let's go Texas. Let's go Roughnecks. 2020 champs? Okay. Time to be 2022 champs.